Hi, hello, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Crick Static Season 3 powered by Wannabe. I'm the show host who brings you the most with regard to cricketing action. Tasmai Krishnan, once again, very much excited to welcome you all back on YouTube. And I'm going to go into a rather sad episode from my side because CSK has squabbled once again versus the Lucknow Super Giants. 2 and 2 for the Lucknow Super Giants versus the Chennai Super Kings. The 5 times IPL champions losing to the newbies, the new chips on the block, and it's very actually I was very frustrated with yesterday's game from CSK and CSK's end. A lot of tactical errors, a lot of fielding errors. The way they batted was superb. But was sending Jadeja for a good decision. Bowl in with the ball. Could they have bowled Deepak Shah instead of Shardul Thakur, which would have been the more viable option? A lot of questions have to be answered. But yeah, let's progress on with this review. I'm not wearing my CSK jersey for a change, but yeah, it was a very it wasn't the same Chepak surface in all honesty because this throughout this tournament, this Chepak surface, barring the one game versus the Kolkata Knight Riders, has turned out to be in this batting paradise. It's really coming onto the bat nicely. And yesterday, you could just see the way Ruturaj Gaikwad, who made one of the best captains now centuries you could ever see, got overshadowed by the one ball that the former captain played, MS Dhoni. But you could have seen, if you had noticed on this surface, even the ball that he was timing through extra covers for 2 runs to the deep covers or sweepers, you could see that it was just flying off the bat. When Shivam Dube came in, he didn't have to take any time to get to get set. Earlier, when a number 4 or a number 5 batsman used to walk into the, let's say, 2015 or even a 2018 or 19 Chepak, when the batsman used to walk out, he had to take some time to get acquainted to the surface. He had to take around 6 to 7 deliveries. But to see the way Shivam Dube and Rutraj Gaikwad went about their batting from ball one, left me very bamboozled because I think Stephen Fleming gave a wonderful statement after the game, talking about how this home surface hasn't always this season has not been very resonant to how it has been throughout the years and over the years for the Chennai Super Kings. But despite having an impeccable track record even in this season at their home ground, I felt this one game would really give it's a major setback for them, knowing that your home ground is not going to be aiding spin, and Chennai being a very spin heavy side, it's a big negative for them. Surprising that they entered the game with only Moeen Ali and Ravindra Jadeja. I expected one more spinner to start. I thought maybe by removing Rachit Ravindra, they might go a little more bowling heavy, might try and get the economy concealed. I thought they might either go Tikshara or to further strengthen the batting order, and they might try to bring in Mitchell Santner, who I remember went one down versus the Mumbai Indians in 2022, a game in which Thaler finished an absolute beauty of a game. He played a beautiful shot through square leg for a boundary of Jaydev Unadkat of the last ball when it was 1 ball 4 to win. So I still remember that game. So he has the game to bat up the order as well. And he's also won many matches for Chennai Super Kings with the bat. A very underrated bowler, probably the most underrated in this in world cricket currently. So I really expected him to start yesterday. But that's cricket. When you have bowlers like Jadeja and Moeen Ali in your lineup, sometimes you've got to wait on the sidelines. And I'm going to address Ruturaj Gaikwad's knock. Oof. What a knock. The way he was playing 37 of 15, and then from there he went to 108 of 60. That just speaks volumes of this innings. The way a lot of people might look at the decline from 37 to 108 with more number of deliveries, 45 deliveries, a big difference. Yes, no doubt about that. But the situation demanded him to do that because when you lose Daryl Mitchell, someone who's a very flamboyant player at number 3, scored a wonderful boundary through the offside, all of a sudden it's a setback in your mindset. You have to start playing a little more slowly. You've got to start stabilizing the innings. That's exactly what he did. Jadeja came in and added on to the pressure. Horrible batting from Ravindra Jadeja. His batting has really dipped in T20 cricket. I'm not at all for him batting up the order. He's still the biggest match winner for India. He's still the best with the bat. He's still the best left arm spinner in the country, in my opinion, in the current scenario. No doubt about that. But I just felt that with him walking in at that number 4 position and struggling to make runs, it was very, what do I say? It was it is more sluggish than the track to see, in fact. So I just felt Jadeja walking at that position was a big mistake, and he did struggle. He did make my eyes struggle as well to watch him bat. But I just felt sending Jadeja inside the power play is not the best decision. They're trying to tap into his potential, but but if you want to tap into his potential, you've got to send him in that 11th or 12th over at a position in which he can come in and acclimatize to the situation and play his shots freely. So I think that's where they kind of screwed up the management in trying to make Jadeja a power play exploiter. And but coming back to Ruturaj Gaikwad, that was a scintillating knock. And I remember posting an Instagram story about how if there's any batsman in this current era of modern day cricket who can hold his or roots of orthodoxy in good shape, but at the same time presented with such ritziness and such flamboyance, it's got to be Ruturaj Gaikwad. Because if there's anyone after Virat Kohli also in that manner, I'm going to add another player in Virat Kohli who can hold, his roots of the game, who can hold his technique and still play all these fashionable shots and eye-catching shots. In this era, it's got to be Ruturaj Gaikwad, because the way he was playing, so much of technique, so many cover drives, so many straight shots for sixes. So I'm really enjoying the way Ruturaj Gaikwad is batting. Only 3 6s, but I think he played one straight off the surface, and it was a wonderful shot. And coming on to Mr. Sixer Shivam Dube, another great knock, 66 of 27. The number of knocks that he's playing like this, it's really astounding to see. He's got 7 sixes. That means he scored 42 of 66 by just playing such shots, and then he's also got 3 boundaries, so that means he's got 12 more there. So when you made 54 runs just of hitting boundaries, and you've scored 66 in total, you've ran only for 12 runs. So that's just fantastic to see. The way Dube is batting right now, he should go for the T20 World Cup ahead of Hardik Pandya. People might say that I'm wrong. People might say that Hardik is on any day a given match winner, and he's also a better bowler, no doubt about the bowling pedigree there, and a better fielder, again, no doubt about that. A more astute cricketing brain, yes, but going by current form, the current form that Shivam Dube is in, he will pip any all-rounder, and he might eat any all-rounder for breakfast, because the way he's hitting those balls for sixes, the way he's amassing the number of runs that he is doing every game after game, it's a big positive for CSK, as he's definitely a retention as well. And I'm very happy with the way Dube is playing pace, especially now. Earlier, I used to keep saying that Dube is becoming he's a sitting duck against pace. He can't play the short ball. He can't play the ball that is not, that is angled towards the body, where you don't have too much of width. So then I used to keep saying that, but now if you see, there's a big improvement in the way he's handling pace. In fact, I feel the throwdown specialist in CSK is doing a wonderful job. He really is banging it in short. He's bowling on the body. He's making Dube play on the tough lines and lengths, and that's exactly what is reflecting on his performances. A lot of efforts are coming to life, and that's great to see for a future India star, Shivam Dube. The way he was handling the spinners as well. Wherever you bowl, it's a 6, and those 3 back-to-back sixes that he hit of Yash Thakur, I think, if I'm not wrong, over the country fence, over the straight fence, and over the mid-wicket fence. Oh my God, because yes, the first ball was a horrible delivery on the length to such a tall lad with so much, tall and a scrawny lad, you must say, because his muscles are just exploding out of his t-shirts. You could see him play those beautiful shots, and I love his bat swing, Shivam Dube. Once he completes the shot, it's almost as if it's a golf player clubbing the ball, because he just finishes it. He brings the bat back all the way to his shoulder, and you can see that he's not putting any body weight behind the ball. He's just dropping his head. His head is focused only on the ball. His shoulder is dropping on a little bit, finishing the shot like this and just lifting the bat backwards. So there's a lot of technical facets to his batting as well that goes largely unnoticed. And that brings me on to the next player, a 42-year-old youngster coming in and scoring 4 of 1 once again with a strike rate of 400. He really is enjoying this role, and that was a good shot once again. A good delivery, but he had to move out because he saw that there was no deep square and there was a big gap between country and mid-wicket. Just did this for a boundary. Another great shot from him. As far as the Lucknow Super Giants bowling is concerned, I think only one bowler had bowled properly, in my opinion, Matt Henry. I'd been advocating for an IPL contract for him since 2019, ever since that World Cup. And he bowled wonderfully, in fact. 4 overs, 28 for a wicket, and that's only 7 and over versus the Chennai Super Kings, who are hard hitters with the cricket ball all of a sudden. That's a very good spell. And now coming on to the Lucknow Super Giants batting. Well, they've scored 213 for 4 in the 19.3 overs. I've got my phone near me just to not over-exaggerate this knock for a Marcus Stoinis, because once your openers have failed, you're very heavily reliant on both Marcus Stoinis and Nicholas Pooran, and both came to the party wonderfully yesterday, and you could have seen that Quinton de Kock hasn't been looking in good nick at all this tournament. He's been struggling to find form. Even the last game was the Chennai Super Kings. He was clearly not in touch. He was mistiming a few. He was just trying to run his way through, and he just wasn't picking the swing. He even today was the Deepak Char. As always, he's chopping the ball onto the stumps, and I feel it's because his bat is here when he's trying to drive the ball. Rather, you should bring it straight and try to club the ball through the offside. But his bat is already facing towards a cut kind of an angle. He's trying to play very square off the surface versus Deepak Char, who is finding a little bit of aid. And I was listening to the Tamil commentary to just get their perspective. A lot of people might say that Tamil commentary is absolutely senseless, but I must tell you, the most sense is made in Tamil commentary. Apart from all the jokes that are cracked, here and there, they give a few insights that are very useful. And Yo Mahesh said rightly on air that, ஒரு பால் ஸ்விங் அடிச்சு ஒரு பால் ஒரு விக்கெட் எடுத்துட்டீங்கன்னா அவ்வளோதாங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் எல்லா பாலும் ஏதோ நடக்கிற மாதிரி தோணும். If one ball swings or one ball you get a wicket of it, then the rest of the deliveries you'll perceive as if something is happening off the surface, and that is exactly what was happening for Deepak Chahar. After that first 2 overs where he conceded 11 runs, I was very surprised that he didn't come back for another over. And Shardul Thakur, should he have bowled that over? I don't think so at all. Horrible bowling, horrible captaincy at that point I felt, because Rutraj Gaikwad should have stepped in, or MS Dhoni should have stepped in and said, you know what, I just feel you're not apt to bowl this over. Because bringing him in as the impact player, I felt they were obliged to give him an over. But I did feel that the way Deepak Chahar was bowling, he could have gone on to finish his spell. Because I remember MSD giving this wonderful interview, in the quarterfinals or in the semi-finals, and when the reporter asked him, why didn't you bowl Harbhajan Singh? He said he has many cars and bikes, but he doesn't know. But every day he can't take all of them. He can only take one of them. And that's exactly what should have been the analogy here as well. When you can't bowl your impact player, it's not as if you're obliged to. You're just bringing him onto the field. If you can't bowl him, no issues. Bowl someone else. That should be the plan. And when you have a bowler who's bowled better than Shardul Thakur and who's picked up a wicket and has come back to form, slowly discovering his mojo. But it's not a 2 over 11 spell from 11 run spell from Deepak Chahar. It's a 2 overs 21 run spell from him. 10 runs left off him solely just because of him at the third man fence, at the square leg fence, a catch that could have won the match. So he's been having a horrendous season for the Chennai Super Kings. I don't see a reason why he should be retained at this point. He should just be let go of next year if he continues to prove me right. But I must say, Deepak Chahar has not been getting the ball to swing. Just a hint yesterday. But barring that, he has not done anything right to cement his position in the squad. You've got Rajavardhan Hangargekar, you've got Mukesh Chowdhury, you've got Simarjeet Singh. 3 people who played the IPL now, who are capped IPL players. The only reason they are not playing is because I just feel that CSK is just trying to back their player a little too much. And I wonder how much of that has to do with the price tag as well. But coming back, I must say, Shardul Thakur, 3 overs, 42 runs. Was that 17th over even needed? Because Deepak Chahar has overall had a better game. 2 overs, 11 runs, 1 wicket. The 10 runs has been a bracket. But I must say, even at that position, I felt the only thinking that was going Rutraj's way was that Deepak Chahar is a little slow off the surface. There's a lot of dew. He's not got a lot of control. He's a swing bowler. Let me bowl Thakur. He'll roll his fingers over the ball. That was the planning, but there was a lot of misexecution, and I must say that left me very miffed while watching the game. And coming on to the next bowler who bowled well in the Chennai Super Kings dugout, it has to be Matisha Pathirana. 4 overs, 35 runs for 2 wickets. Another quality spell from Pathirana. And he's just going on to prove why he needs to be a retention. And why am I focusing so much on the retentions is because I think CSK have got to start planning from now to decide on who they want to retain and who they want to form a core around from the next, the 11 around for the next few years. And I think Pathirana, Rutraj Gaikwad, Ravindra Jadeja, Shivam Dube are definitely in the mix for that. And coming on to the next, phase that I had to address in this game, it's a phase in particular, the 16th to the 20th over. It was nearly around 52 of 24 or 55-24, and nowadays you would back the batting team to win in those kind of situations. But in all honesty, was that the case this time? Because Marcus Stoinis, I will address Stoinis. I'm just reserving Stoinis towards the end. But I must say, the way they were bowling, and I think the Chennai Super Kings, they became very complacent as of sorts towards the second half. You could see that they weren't executing anything properly. There was a lot of dew. It was an extremely wet ball. In fact, they changed it as well. But I did feel the pitch also didn't offer a lot of water retention. You could see that it was not, after a point, it was just coming onto the bat. Even better, it didn't deteriorate because there wasn't a lot of water retention. After a point, it was just flattening out, and that was exactly what went the batter's way. And that was a phase that I wanted to address, but now I have to come on to Marcus Stoinis. There's no way I can't, end this episode without addressing Marcus Stoinis, because it's well as good as a crime now. Because that knock from Marcus Stoinis, 124 of 63 deliveries, by far the greatest comeback knocks that I've seen. Because let me tell you, when you're in a situation when you're 80 for 2 and you're walking in not in form, having lost a central contract for the country, coming in knowing that you've not bowled very well as well, and coming in knowing that the surface is slowly deteriorating, but at the same time, all of a sudden, the narrative changed of the surface. But I must say, the way he handled the pressure, a few shots that he played a back foot cover drive for 6. Any player who hits an extra cover drive or a back foot cover drive for 6, that speaks volumes of the form they are in. That speaks volumes of the courage and character that they have. Because it's not an easy shot to play. You don't know where to keep your body weight on. Because in general, when you move your foot backwards, a lot of people tend to put their body weight back as well. But to play that shot was scrawny. He's the Hulk of the Lucknow Super Giants. Played that shot straight over long off. Played a beautiful, played some beautiful shots of the last over as well. And a lot of people will blame Mustafizur Rahman, but let me tell you, finishing the game with the bat and finishing the game with the ball are two of the hardest and the most unthankful jobs to do to execute on this planet. And let me tell you, he did nothing wrong. There was too much of moisture on the ball, and had Deepak Char saved those 10 runs, it would have been a different game altogether. Let's say 10, he had given single, 7, it would have been 24, and I would have still backed Rahman then. Because 17 of 5, the way this lad, Marcus Stoinis, was seeing the ball, it was almost as if he was seeing it like a pumpkin. It was going to be, it was in no scenario was it imaginable to see that Mustafizur could have got this game for CSK. But I must say, the way that man batted, Marcus Stoinis, a few shots over cover, some ostentatious cricketing shots over the square fence. So he's coming back to form. Another Aussie batsman coming back to form in an Aussie in a World Cup year. So that's another negative for India. But I must say, the way Marcus Stoinis is batting, the way he's holding the bat, the confidence that he's exuding on that field, you could almost see as if KL Rahul knew that Marcus Stoinis was going to finish this game, because he was so relaxed. He was very calm and composed in that dugout after getting out cheaply, and the way he went about his batting. Oof, the more number of times I say, the more I'm not getting enough of it, because he played some impeccable strokes through the offside, some beautiful strokes through the leg side, and he's been a class apart. He was a class apart yesterday. Not been in the best of form throughout this tournament, but if this knock is really going to help the Lucknow Super Giants rejuvenate their batting mojo in the middle order. The middle order has been going through somewhat of a turbulent phase, and I must say, it's only going to be one of the Lucknow Super Giants or one of the Chennai Super Kings who go on to play the knockouts. And now it looks as if the Lucknow Super Giants are better slated, but Chennai Super Kings, CSK, the comeback Super Kings, it can be that tale as well. We have seen them do it time and again. The Chennai Super Kings and Mumbai Indians, champion franchises. So let's not rule them out completely. Only one franchise is ruled out as of now, and I'm looking forward to more such games where it's going down to the wire, but at the same time I'm looking forward to a low scoring thriller. If there's something that I'm yearning for in this IPL, I want a low scoring thriller, because let me tell you, a low scoring thrillers are much more riveting than a high scoring thriller, because in a low scoring thriller, the whole mindset on the field is, what in Tamil they say usura kudukanam. I have to give my 120% on the field, because you don't have to totally defend. The bowlers are coming up with so much of fire onto the field. You know what? I'm going to swing the ball today. I'm going to bowl a few bumpers. I'm going to get the fielders inside the circle. When you bring the fielders inside the circle, the batters are under pressure. So there's a lot of mind games and a lot of tactical prowess that goes behind the scenes in a low-scoring thriller. I really want one to happen as well in this IPL. So I'm manifesting one. If you feel low-scoring thrillers are better than high-scoring thrillers, please do drop a comments in my comment section. And I think I touched upon most facets that I had to on this episode. I think I touched upon all the aspects that I felt was very riveting, but you could have different opinions. You know what you have to do, share it in the comment section. And to get a more widespread range of comments, please do share my YouTube channel's link with everybody who you feel likes cricket, so that even I can grow as a channel exponentially. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Crick Static, powered by Wannaby, the world's first exclusive 360 degrees buyers only requirement listing portal, where buying is an absolute charm like T20 cricket. And they've got everything covered with regard to real estate. Whether you want to buy a doorstep or whether you want services at your doorstep, they've got everything covered. And if you want to rent a property in this heat, especially outside, I think it's around 40 degrees, please don't, because they made the process very, very easy. All you have to do is go onto their customer friendly website, www.wannaby.in, or even visit an app if you prefer an app for a more user friendly interface. Wannaby app. And I know the owners personally, and I must say they're one of the nicest people I've ever come across. So please do give their website a visit as well. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in.